What's up, you guys? Your boy Purr Senpai here, and today we're going to be reviewing about Black Clover the movie. Okay, let's bring out the big dogs right now, the story. So knowing that this anime is a filler, it doesn't have really any effects to the canon of the main series of the TV show, they still did a great job into putting this somewhere in between the TV show. Now, if I was to guess where it was gonna land, it was gonna be after Asta was banned from the kingdom for him to have proof that, you know, he's not the devil or something like that. And it's definitely before the time skip, but still like during the training arc as well. Because how else are they gonna explain, like, you know, when Asta have these amazing powers, but that's like definitely around the time where he starts training them. I think what the movie does that is good, or I really liked, was the build up. Now the way that they build up these moments of these fights or these arguments of the protagonist and the antagonist, having a way to make this situation even greater than before. But the reason why I'm saying this is because the way that they designed these antagonists just added more to the level or to the grave danger that the characters were facing. And they have very good dialogue when it comes to talking back, or when it comes to revealing to their ideals to the other people. It really threw me back when I did finish watching the movie, and it made me realize like these antagonists weren't really the bad guys. They were just people misput in like these situations because of what happened to them. I mean, I think that's what's called a bad guy. I don't know. And I really try to find, like, you know, plot holes or like plot armor, but really there was only like one that I could find, but it was like in between the very half of the movie. But the one thing that did impress me a lot was the runtime of this movie. Seeing how it was like an hour and 53 minutes, but I believe if you take off the credit, it's a lot less than that. So seeing a story having a beginning, middle, and an ending was very well done. I believe, to me, the pacing for this movie, they did a phenomenal job. Nothing felt held back, didn't slow down, or wasn't like, you know, that fast of a pacing. In each segment, our characters were facing different battles, but they had all the same meaning to it. And in these battles, we understand a lot more when it comes to trying to understand these antagonists and also the reason why they're doing this in the first place. Now, of course, the movie isn't gonna like tell you everything or the dialogue at all. Sometimes you gotta like pay attention to what you're seeing as well to tell the story in itself. So as I was watching this movie, I really understood where these characters, antagonists, or the so-called bad guys came from, making me realize of what these relationships of these both sides have in with each other. And seeing how this movie plays out gives us that glimpse or that mirror effect if our main character Asta was to ever, you know, flip the side of being a good to being a bad. Now the animation was pretty much key to this, well, whole film right there. And of course, I want to get to the dirty part, to the part that not a lot of people would want to talk about. The CGI that came into fruition in this anime wasn't that bad. In fact, it actually did a lot to help out in these action moments. Seeing how the CGI was put in certain moments that would help and benefit to the animation and be focused on that more. Whenever, depending on if there was going to be like a big structure that needed to be animated very well, then they would use CGI just for that necessary part. And when they implemented that CGI, they made sure they used it all the way through instead of having it 2D and then having it CGI, which sometimes distract the eye. Now, of course, should I praise the animation that this movie got? Now, the only comparison that we can do is the TV series, which for sure the animation is not the best when it comes to like a shonen, or considering what is the standard of a shonen animation to this day. But yes, they did a great job, but I'm also holding back with the praise because The fights were amazing, the interactions were very well done, and there is a lot that comes from this world being animated to that as well. The music in this anime was there, you know? It added the atmosphere that it needed to when it wanted to be funny, serious, sad, or very tense in the situation. But of course, the music, or the so-called soundtrack, wasn't that impressive. Nothing that stood out the most. It was there to fill up the gaps when the characters weren't talking or they were doing some sort of action that had something impactful towards something. But talking about attacks, I believe they did a great job with the sound effects when it came to using mana, sword fighting, or just punching overall. But Netflix being Netflix, their audios always like have a balance to this, especially the voice acting, because when I listened to the Japanese version, it felt not as impactful or loud when it came to, you know, the characters screaming, and it had the same level to when I was listening it to the English version. And I gotta say, the English version actually was a lot better than the Japanese version. But what I can give to the soundtrack is that they were able to time certain musics when it was necessary. Now, these characters in this anime, of course, it's going to be mostly focused on Asta and Yuno. Majority Asta, of course. But seeing how we get to see so much characters that we have been seeing from the past series and seeing how much they have grown was very impactful and very meaningful whenever they came in a situation to work together. As in the beginning, we get to see the main character, you know, have his time to work together with some of his group mates that he hasn't been able to talk to in a while. With having a main character, they also come with ideas or their ideal image on what they want to pursue or what is their goal. And this movie doesn't like hold back to that idea of our main character Asta. Seeing how the antagonist tries to pressure Asta into doing something that is very similar but in a different take. Having Asta to realize that he can't fight this battle alone, so he definitely needs the people that have been there with him to keep helping him in these situations. And the dialogue for like these characters are actually pretty impressive because they definitely left a bigger impact on me to who these characters are. And also what this film does that's great as well is that they give enough screen time to a lot of these characters, especially the side characters that, you know, would have a good grasp on knowing who they are, what's their background, and what they can do. Of course, we get the nostalgia of certain, like, you know, callbacks of the phrases that certain characters say all the time, and that's also very touching as well. And like I was saying before, of these antagonists having their backstory revealed to us, getting to see why they chose this path or what made them change their minds to how they were thinking before. Once again, giving us the idea image if Asa was ever to go rogue. Now, of course, this is just my personal preference of what I'm about to say right now, but goddamn Noelle, my queen, she is best waifu right there. Because she isn't some lady in distress. She's a very amazing character to appreciate, even especially at FMC as well. And goddammit, does she still try her best to be better or try to find the best way to fight. Like I said before, these characters, they have something of a relation and a connection to each of their own with each other. And when I get to see Asa and Noelle gang working together, it's just a blessing, really. Well, that's me talking about the movie, as of course it's a non-spoiler movie review. But if you guys like actually liked it and enjoyed what I had to say about this movie, even though, you know, we may have different opinions about it, and if you guys really want me to like really talk about the movie with, you know, spoilers of course, then hit that like button. But if you guys also want to see me, you know, talk about other reviews of not just anime movies but anime shows, hit that subscribe button. And also let me know in the comments on what you rated the movie as well, because I've seen people saying, oh, it's great, and I see people like dog shit the anime movie. But that's pretty much all I gotta talk about. It's been your boy Senpai, and I'll see you guys in the next review.